So let us continue our discussion on waves. We were discussing that the general equation of a wave can be written as y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. This is the general expression of a wave. Now let us see what happens at t is equal to 0. So at t is equal to 0, you have to put t is equal to 0 in the equation. So you get y is equal to a sine kx. So this equation can also be written as a sine kx plus 2 pi. Will this value change? The value will not change because a sine function basically has a periodicity of 2 pi. This is 0, this is 2 pi, and this is 4 pi. So after every 2 pi, the sine function will repeat itself. So the period of a sine function is 2 pi. So suppose if I add a value of n, if I put a n here, where n is an integer, n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So essentially this function remains the same. So here, if I take k common, I get x plus 2 pi n by k. This is what the expression I get. Okay. Now you know that in this expression n is equal to 1. If I put n is equal to 1, that is the least possible value. That is the least possible value. N has to be an integer. It cannot be a fraction. And we have studied that the distance between 2 points which are in same phase, like this point and this point, they are in the same phase. You have to take the consecutive distance. That is your wavelength. That is your wavelength. So here in this expression, we can say that lambda, when you put n is equal to 1, see, the displacement is getting repeated. Y is equal to a sine kx. Okay, let us say you take the peak displacement. Okay, then the next peak displacement you are getting after 2 pi. Okay, so if you take the consecutive one, if this is n is equal to 1, then this is n is equal to 2. If this corresponds to n is equal to 3, then this corresponds to n is equal to 4. So the distance between them is lambda. So what is the value of lambda here? Lambda value is 2 pi by k. Okay, so that means k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. This k is called angular wave number. Angular wave number. It is also called propagation constant. And yesterday when we were discussing, I also said that how many lambdas are there in one full cycle. That is also a definition of k. How many wavelengths are there in one full cycle also gives you an information about the wave number. So in this equation, the first case what we took is t is equal to 0. Now we will take the same equation, y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. Now we will put x is equal to 0. What we will get? We will get y is equal to a sine minus omega t. Sine of a negative number is, it becomes minus a sine omega t. Okay, so can we write this equation as minus a sine, we will write omega, this is t plus capital T. What is this capital T? Capital T is time period. Capital T is time period, and time period is the time taken to complete one full cycle. Again the sine function is repeating. If you see in this equation, after one full cycle the function is repeating. Okay, so I can write this equation as omega t plus capital T. T is a particular instant of time. Capital T is constant. Okay, small t is varying. So this equation can be written like this also. Okay, so you can write this as minus a sine omega t plus omega capital T. Can we compare this equation with minus a sine omega t plus 2 pi? Essentially we are saying the same thing in a different way. We are saying that the displacement function y is not changing after one full cycle, so this term must be equal to this term. So omega t is equal to 2 pi by comparing. That means omega is equal to 2 pi by t. So this is the formula to calculate the angular frequency. Okay, you know that 1 by t is equal to frequency, angular speed, angular speed. So this equation can also be written as 2 pi mu. So you have to remember this formula and you have to understand this formula while doing the numericals. So from the same equation both things can be derived. The basic equation was this. So let us apply whatever we have learned to a numerical and understand how to solve numericals. Okay, it's a basic level question. See here, a wave traveling along a string is described by y of xt is equal to 0.005 sine 80x minus 3t, in which the numerical constants are in SI units. Okay, like 0.005 is in meters and 80 etc. Calculate the amplitude, wavelength, period, frequency of the wave. Also calculate the displacement y of the wave at a distance x is equal to 30 centimeter and t is equal to 20 seconds. See, the approach to solve most of the questions in waves is com comparing given equation with standard equation. This is the approach you have to adopt. What is our standard equation? Y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. This is our standard equation. This is our standard equation. And the given equation is y of, obviously this is y of xt only. This is basically y of xt. What is the meaning of y of xt? Means y is a function of x as well as t. That is why you are seeing x and t in the equation. And the given equation in the question is y of xt is equal to 0.005 sine kx 80x minus 3t, and he is saying that all are SI units. So in the place of a you have 0.005, so a is equal to 0.005 meters or 5 mm. What is this? This is amplitude, because in the standard equation a is the amplitude. Now kx and 80x, that means k is equal to 80 is what is given, and omega t 3t, omega is equal to 3, simply by comparing. Okay, now what is k? K is equal to 2 pi by lambda, which is equal to 80. So in the question they are asking you wavelength. So wavelength will be, lambda will be 2 pi by 80 or pi by 40. Units will be, you are an SI unit, so this will be meters. Similarly omega is given as, we are getting omega here as 3. Okay, so um, but omega is equal to 2 pi by t. 2 pi by t is equal to 3, so t will be equal to 2 pi by 3 seconds. What will be frequency? Frequency will be 1 by t, so it will be 3 by 2 pi cycles per second or hertz. So you got all the values. Okay, now you have calculated period, you have calculated the frequency. Now he is asking you at a particular location, x is equal to 30 centimeter and t is equal to 20 seconds. What is the value of y he is asking you? So again you have to go back to the general equation, which is this equation, the original equation. Okay, so this was the original equation, 0.005 sine 80x minus 3t. Okay, so he's asking you calculate the value of displacement at a distance x is equal to 30 centimeters. So x is equal to how much he has given? 0.3 meters. 30 centimeters is equal to 0.3 meters, and time is equal to 20 seconds he has given. So your answer will be y is equal to 0.005 sine 80 into 0.3 minus 3 into 20. So once you um, uh, once you solve this, you get the value of y. So this is the approach you have to adopt. So next we will study about the speed of a traveling wave. Now see this figure. When you draw a wave function, this is a displacement function. Okay, at particular x you are going to get the displacement values, but is it displacement of one particle? It is not displacement function of one particle. We are not talking about, is it, are we talking about one particle? No, these are group of particles. These are group of particles. Remember that you throw the stone into that pond and ripples are created, I told you, you know. So the particle here is disturbing this particle, this is disturbing this is disturbing this. So you are plotting the displacement function of all these particles. Okay, some particle are less disturbed, some particle are more disturbed. And how is the function? It is a sinusoidal function. So when you are drawing this function, you know, so the particle at this particular x distance is displacing this much, which is here it is displacing this much. Okay, and what do you mean by a traveling wave? Means What is a traveling wave? It's a moving wave. Okay, it's a moving wave. So we have to find the speed of this moving wave. So while calculating speed, you have to consider a particular point. You cannot compare the speed of one particle. When you're comparing the speed of a wave, you have to take one particle in that wave and see how it is behaving. That will decide what is the speed of the wave. You don't have to study all the particles. And the easier way to do is study the top points, the crest. So here we are studying this particular point, and in a small interval of time, see at time t this particle is here. After t plus very small time delta t, the particle is here. This is the initial position, this is the final position, and this is how the whole wave is shifting. Okay, so here we will say that the velocity of the wave is delta x by delta t. Now this is a harmonic function. This is a harmonic function. It has got a fixed displacement pattern. Displacement pattern you call it, or a wave pattern you call it. It has got a fixed wave pattern, right? So if this has to be a fixed wave pattern, that means your original equation was y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. So this term must be a constant. Kx minus omega t has to be a constant to get this condition. If this value is changing, the displacement function itself is changing as a whole. Okay, so kx minus omega t is changing means, suppose here what is happening means, I can write it this way: kx minus omega t, after a small incremental time delta t, this particle has moved from this point to this point. That means this was the original x, right, from origin. Now what is the position of the particle? It is k into x plus delta x. And what is the time? Minus omega into t plus delta t. Okay, basically kx minus omega t has to be constant, so these two have to be equal. So we'll just expand this. So it is kx minus omega t is equal to k into x plus delta x minus omega into t plus delta t. So expand and open. Kx minus omega t is equal to kx plus k delta x minus omega t minus omega delta t. Cancel out the common terms. This is the common term, this is the common term. So you are getting k into delta x minus omega delta t is equal to 0. Okay, that means you are getting delta x by delta t is equal to omega by k. Delta x by delta t is equal to omega by k. Now we are assuming that delta x and delta t is very small. It is very small. So you can write delta x means it is 0.001 meters. Delta t is 0.001 seconds. So this can be written as dx by dt is equal to omega by k. But what is this dx by dt? Which is change in displacement with respect to time. So it is velocity is equal to omega by k. So this is one expression you are getting. But we have already derived omega is equal to 2 pi mu. Omega is equal to 2 pi by t, or 2 pi mu divided by, what is k? It is 2 pi by lambda. So here 2 pi get cancelled and you are getting lambda will go up, so lambda mu. So v is equal to lambda mu is the formula to calculate the wave speed. You can also write it as lambda by t, because 1 by t is equal to mu. Write it this way or write it this way. These are the formulas to calculate the wave speed, which is a traveling wave. If it is a stagnant wave, there is no question of speed. Only the wave is traveling, you have to find out the speed. So you have to remember this expression, okay, and see how I have done the derivation. Any doubts, you can just post me and just go through that. Basically, you have to remember that when you are studying wave, you are not studying about one particle, but you are studying about set of particles. But when you talk about wave, you have to study one particle, because the set of particles are behaving in a particular fashion. And here we are talking about a harmonic wave. If it is some other wave which is not harmonic, we cannot find out like this. Okay, so this is just to make a note of this.